In this video, we're going to be demonstrating some of the skills necessary to accomplish a lee shore rescue here at Nantwich and Border Counties Sailing Club. In the next video, we'll be executing a lee shore rescue using some of these skills. In carrying out a lee shore rescue here at Nantwich and Border Counties Sailing Club, the priority is of course the casualty, but also the safety boat. One of the restrictions we have here is that we shouldn't take the safety boat within 20 meters of the shore if the engine is down or if the engine is running. This is to avoid damage to the propeller, because without a safety boat we can have no rescue. Three types of lee shore rescue that we're going to demonstrate. The first one is to drive up to where the sailor is and determine whether they are in fact a casualty or not. If not, then wave happily and sail away. The second type, if they do need some assistance, then we can anchor the powerboat, drift back to the casualty and assist them from there, and then pull ourselves away on the anchor chain and then drive them back to the shore if necessary. The third type is to drive within 20 meters of the casualty and use a throw line so they can tie the line to the boat and we can tow them away from the shore. When you're allocated a duty, there'll be a safety boat officer and an assistant. The safety boat officer is responsible for everything that goes on the water as far as safety is concerned during that day. So the two of you should get together and plan how you're going to work that day. In the event of an emergency, the assistant should follow the instructions of the safety boat officer. Okay. Some of the skills you'll need are use of the radio, the throw line, which I've got attached down here, a secondary means of propulsion, which is a paddle, which we have here. We're going to need to deploy an anchor, know how to de-rig a casualty's boat, and bring a casualty back to berth safely. Alright, well we'll just go over here and anchor the boat. So while we're approaching, would you get the anchor out of the compartment at the front, please? That's it. And in neutral now, so if you just drop the anchor gently over the side, lovely. Yeah, if you would please, and then we'll put it into reverse gently to check that the anchor is holding. Yep. Anchor's holding, so then we'll just drift the boat back to the casualty. The engine's up, so I'll switch the engine off. And now we can drift back to the casualty, knowing that we can use the anchor rope to pull ourselves out again. In a lee shore recovery, you may need to throw a throw line. Now, given the rule of being 20 meters from the shore, you may need to throw that throw line 20 meters. Now, 20 meters is sometimes a bit further than you might think. It's a lot easier with the wind behind you, but this is 20 meters. Now, Bob, you throw the throw line. It's not as easy as you might think. Bob, there are alternatives. You could let the boat drift back to the shore to make the distance shorter. You could ask the person in the boat if they're capable of walking out into the shallow water to collect the throw line, or you could throw it again. But to save having to pack it all back into the bag, you could fill the throw line bag with water and use that as a weight to swing it to throw it again. We've brought the boat from the shore now, brought it up to the powerboat, and we've attached it front and back to the powerboat. The throw line, as you can see, is wrapped around the base of the mast and put through the cleat so that nobody actually physically has to hold it, so it's secured to the boat, and also with a slip knot at the back so it's easy to release at the time. The next thing we've got to do is we've got to uncleat the sail to make the boat much more manoeuvrable. So Bob, if you could undo the cleat and loosen it up and unhook the sail at the back and then wrap it around the mast. A lot of the time while this is going on, the casualty will be in the boat and they'll be able to do this for themselves as you're pulling the boat off the shore. In this scenario, we're just doing it just to show you what needs to be done. So the sail is secured and we're all seated and we're ready to take the boat back to shore. Right, sometimes you have a double hander that you've got to de-rig. This one's an Argo, but there are various ones on the water and they're probably all going to be different. So if you're going to go out to do a rescue, it's a good idea to familiarise yourselves with all the boats that are likely to need rescuing. This Argo, what you have to do first of all is to bring in the jib. And that's simply done by the line underneath the mast. You uncleat it and bring that in and you fill that one in like that. So that's filled in there and that stops it flapping out of the way. On this particular one, the main sheet is in this cleat here. Take that out of the cleat, you might need a bit of a pull, there we are, and then it brings it down. Brings it down, so. And now you have the sail depowered and able to control the boat without the wind pushing it all over the place. Right, now we're going to demonstrate 4 different ways of towing the boat back to shore. First method that we're going to demonstrate will be bringing the Pico, the mast, over the boat. Now we do this when obviously you don't need the casualty in the boat. The casualty is either in this boat or on shore and we're bringing the boat back. This is only for a short tow and a very slow tow at that. So Bob, if you grab the mast, it's tied on at the front. That's it, and lean it over, being careful to get the boom inside the boat, like that. And then to secure it, just simply sit on the mast. As I say, this is for a short tow only. Another towing method is when we pull the casualty off the lee shore and we want to tow them behind the boat in case they want to sail off themselves when they're ready. We simply tie a line around the base of the mast so it's nice and secure. That means you don't have to hold it particularly hard. The weight will be distributed along the mast and the other end onto the bridle with a bowline. The reason for the bowline is it gives a loop so that when the boats turn, then the rope can slide along the bridle and not get caught up around the boat. Also, when you're towing this method, you need to make sure that there's somebody in the back of the boat watching the casualty's boat to make sure that the line between them remains taut and doesn't get caught up in the engine. At the same time, of course, checking that the casualty's happy. And then, if the casualty is happy and ready to sail off, then they can simply release the line from the mast and sail away. Now this is a good method of towing over a longer distance. It's very secure and it keeps everybody happy. Once we've pulled the boat from the lee shore, it is perfectly acceptable then to tie the tow line around the cleat at the front of the powerboat. And from there we can continue to pull the boat away from the shore. The advantage of doing this is we've got a very quick release on both the mast on the casualty boat and on the cleat at the front here. Another advantage is this rope is not going to get caught up under the engine and we can see what we're doing at all times. Disadvantage of this is we can only travel slowly. If we go any faster, then water is going to pour in from the back of this boat. And we don't want that to happen.
Now we're going to have a demonstration of how to berth a casualty boat. The safety boat officer has thought ahead and has put the casualty boat on the appropriate side for berthing in these wind conditions. So the casualty boat will come in on the inside of the power boat, which will make it easy for a helper on the shore to grab hold of the boat and release lines from the power boat. So the helper's coming forward. The boat is secure and safe now. All the lines can be released and the power boat can continue with its duties.
In the event of coming into shallow waters, you have to raise the engine, as you can see there, raise the engine and use paddles to maneuver the boat. You can see how deep the water is if I just put the paddle in the water there. You can see, you can test the depth like that, and you can maneuver the boat with the paddle simply. So turn the boat round and manoeuvre it. Back to shore.
In this video, we talked about the 3 types of lee shore rescue you might get involved in. The no intervention type of rescue, the rescue where you anchor and drift back on the casualty, or the rescue where you just throw a line to the casualty. In reality, you might use a mixture of drifting back on the casualty and throwing a line. We also discussed the skills you need in order to conduct a lee shore rescue. You need to know how to de-rig a boat if you have to. You need to know how to de-rig a single-hander and a double-hander. You're probably going to need to know how to berth a boat from a powerboat. You're probably going to need to know how to paddle a powerboat in shallow water. You might also want to know how to anchor the boat and drift back to a target. So these are all skills you require. If you feel you don't have the skills and you're doing powerboat duties, have a word with the training team and we'll be able to organise something for you. In our next video, we'll show you how to put all the skills together and we'll show you an actual lee shore rescue. Thanks for watching. We hope this has been informative, and please give us feedback because your views matter to us.